Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are listening to this right now, understand, this is not by coincidence, this is not chance, this is not random. This is a divine appointment set by the hand of God Himself. Something in your spirit has been crying out for confirmation, for direction, for truth, and heaven heard your cry. That's why you were drawn here. You are not here by accident. You were led here because this word is a key, and that key belongs to you. The Spirit of God is aligning your steps, guiding your eyes, and opening your ears so that you can receive what was already written about you before the foundations of the world. You are not just another listener. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are marked with greatness. Heaven has already stamped you with purpose, and this message is proof that your season of clarity, power, and divine revelation is unfolding right now. Before we go any further, if your spirit is resonating with this word, type 7 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It is heaven's signal of divine completion, the mark that what was hidden in you is now being revealed. The wisdom you carry, the insight you hold, the knowledge God has placed in you, it intimidates those who cannot understand your light. When you type it, you are declaring in faith, I walk in divine knowledge, I walk in revelation, I walk in truth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe, and stay with me until the very end of this message. Because by the time we finish, you will understand exactly why they fear you, and why the wisdom God placed inside you is about to open doors no man can shut. Let's get into it. Inel, chapter 1. The burden of knowing. Child of God, the wisdom you carry is not light. It is heavy and it is holy. This gift was not handed to you casually. It was birthed in the fire of affliction. You didn't stumble upon it by chance. It was carved into your spirit through pain, loss, and a kind of isolation that only the chosen truly understand. Every sleepless night when you cried out to God, every unanswered question that left you broken, every betrayal that cut you to your core, those were not wasted moments. They were classrooms. They were sanctuaries. They were the places where heaven poured hidden truth into you. This wisdom did not come from books alone, nor from teachers in the natural. It came from the Spirit of God whispering in your wilderness. The wilderness was your seminary, the storms were your professors, the silence was your mentor. Every tear that hit the ground was an offering, and God exchanged it for sight beyond sight, vision beyond vision, and discernment that no man can explain. And now you walk with something rare, an inheritance of divine perception. This knowledge is not ordinary, it is not fleshly, it is not man-made, it is eternal. God placed it within you because He knew you could carry the weight of it without bending, breaking, or misusing it. He knew you would not boast in it but protect it. He knew you would use it not to destroy others but to expose the darkness and bring freedom to those bound by lies. Understand this clearly. People do not fear you because of your face, your status, or your background. They fear you because of what you know. Your very presence convicts them because you carry revelation that strips away pretense. You can walk into a room and feel the tension no one else notices. You can hear words yet perceive the motives that lie beneath them. You can smile at someone and simultaneously discern the darkness they are trying to hide. This unsettles people. It shakes those who live in deception. It makes the proud nervous. It makes the fake tremble. Because they know you cannot be fooled. You cannot be blinded by smooth talk. You cannot be swayed by false promises. The spirit of truth within you scans everything like a divine radar. And before deception can wrap itself around you, heaven whispers in your ear, do not trust this, do not follow this, do not attach yourself to this, and that is why you often find yourself standing alone. Many cannot handle what you carry. They cannot sit comfortably in your presence because their masks slip, their shadows stir, and their secrets feel exposed. Even when you say nothing, they feel seen. Even when you remain silent, they feel uncovered. That is the power of divine knowledge. It speaks without words. But child of God, I need you to hear this. The burden of knowing is not a curse. It is a crown. It is not punishment. It is preparation. You have been set apart to see what others cannot because your assignment requires a level of sight that others do not have. This is why you were rejected. This is why you were isolated. This is why you often felt misunderstood. God was separating you, training you, refining you so that when the time came, your knowledge would protect you and position you. Never forget, God entrusted you with this because He knew you could carry it. He knew the weight would not crush you but strengthen you. He knew that while others might use this gift for pride or control, you would use it to guide, to heal, and to glorify Him. Your discernment is your weapon, your shield, and your crown. Wear it boldly, walk in it confidently. And remember always, though people may fear you because of what you know, heaven smiles upon you because of what you carry. Chapter 2. You carry divine secrets. Child of God, the reason you stand out is not merely because of your appearance, your gifts, or even your personality. You stand out because you have been entrusted with something rare, divine secrets. Heaven has chosen you as a vessel of revelation, and that is why you cannot blend in, no matter how hard you try. You carry mysteries that are hidden from ordinary eyes, and that spiritual weight creates an atmosphere around you that others cannot explain. Understand this. When God gives you insight, it is not by accident. It is not a coincidence when you sense something others miss. It is not intuition when you discern danger before it arrives. It is not luck when you speak into someone's life and they are stunned by how accurate you are. No, this is the Spirit of God working through you. This is evidence that you are in tune with the frequencies of heaven. You are a receiver of transmissions from the throne room, and what comes to you cannot be taught in schools, cannot be learned in books, cannot be mimicked by human wisdom. It is divine. It is holy. Think about Daniel standing before Nebuchadnezzar. All the magicians, wise men, and sorcerers of Babylon could not interpret the king's dream. But Daniel, because of the Spirit of God, not only revealed the dream, but gave its meaning with perfect clarity. Or think of Joseph, who as a young man dreamed dreams that revealed the future, and later, through that gift, rose to become the savior of nations in a time of famine. Chosen one, this same grace rests upon you. You are cut from that cloth. You may not be standing before kings yet, but the wisdom you carry has the potential to bring you before rulers, decision makers, and leaders who will marvel at the knowledge flowing through you. And yet this gift has a cost. The secrets you carry are heavy. They separate you from the crowd. People may smile in your face but feel uneasy in your presence. They may love you outwardly but avoid you inwardly. Why? Because your spirit convicts them. Your knowledge exposes what they want to hide. When you walk into a room, atmospheres shift, pretenses break, masks fall. People may not understand why they feel uncomfortable around you, but it is because their spirit recognizes that you carry something they cannot deny. And this can be lonely. There will be moments when you wonder why people pull away. There will be seasons where you feel misunderstood because others cannot comprehend how you just know things. They may mock it, call it strange, or even label it dangerous. But you must remember, their rejection is not about you, it is about what you carry. Darkness always trembles in the presence of light, and those who are not ready to face truth will always resist those who embody it. But child of God, here is the encouragement. This gift is not a burden, it is a blessing. God trusted you with this mantle because He knew you would not misuse it. He knew you would not turn it into a weapon of manipulation or pride. He knew you would hold it with reverence. The secrets you carry are holy assignments. They are meant to protect, to guide, to heal, to prepare the way for breakthroughs not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Your discernment is not random, it is a shield. Your visions are not illusions, they are previews of what is coming. Your ability to sense the unseen is not a curse. It is a divine compass pointing you in the direction of destiny. Yes, people may fear you because of what you know, but remember this. Even if they run from you now, there will come a day when the very wisdom they once rejected will be the wisdom they desperately need. So carry these secrets with humility, but also with boldness. Do not shrink your light to make others comfortable. Do not bury your gift because it makes you feel isolated. You were chosen for this, you were trusted with this, and one day when the time is right, God will place you in environments where the very thing people feared about you will become the very thing they honor and seek. You are a keeper of mysteries, you are a vessel of revelation, and though it may feel heavy at times, know this. God's secrets are safe with you, and because of that, His favor will never depart from your life. Chapter 3. Knowledge makes you undeniable child of God. Knowledge is power, but spiritual knowledge is unstoppable. The wisdom of this world can be debated, twisted, or manipulated, but the wisdom that comes from heaven cannot be undone. You carry a knowledge that pierces through the fog of confusion, a light that exposes deception, and a clarity that dismantles lies. That is why, no matter how hard the enemy tries, he cannot silence you. Truth has a voice, and when you speak, it carries authority beyond human understanding. Understand this: knowledge makes you undeniable. When others try to erase your name, your wisdom keeps bringing you back into the conversation. When they try to lock you out of opportunities, your insight opens doors they cannot close. When they try to discredit you, the fruit of your discernment proves them wrong. Every revelation you carry is evidence that God has been walking with you, teaching you, and preparing you for such a time as this. Think of Joseph locked in a prison cell, forgotten by men but remembered by God. His knowledge, his divine ability to interpret dreams, made him undeniable. Pharaoh could not ignore the wisdom that came out of Joseph's mouth. In one day, Joseph rose from prisoner to prime minister because what he knew could not be silenced. Or think of Daniel, whom kings could not do without. When Babylon was in crisis, they did not call for magicians or scholars. They called for Daniel. Why? Because he carried knowledge that was undeniable. And child of God, the same mantle rests upon you. Every lesson you have learned through hardship, every tear that taught you resilience, every revelation whispered to you in prayer. These have become the building blocks of a foundation no enemy can shake. Your enemies may have counted on your downfall. They may have assumed that isolation would break you, but instead God used it to make you wiser, sharper, stronger. They cannot compete with the wisdom forged in your wilderness. They cannot outthink someone who has been taught by the Spirit of God Himself. And this is why they fear you. Not because of your status, not because of your possessions, but because of what you know. Knowledge makes you dangerous in the spirit realm. It makes you untouchable in battles where others fall. It makes you rise where others sink. That is why the attacks against you have been so relentless, not to destroy your body, but to distract your mind. Because the enemy knows, if you ever fully walk in the wisdom you carry, nothing will be able to stop you. Child of God, you must hold this truth close. What God has placed in you cannot be erased. Men can strip titles. They can take positions. They can walk away from you. But they cannot take away what you know. They cannot erase the truth etched into your spirit. They cannot cancel the revelation sealed by God's own hand. And because of this, you will always rise. You will always stand. You will always be undeniable. So walk boldly in your knowledge. Speak truth even when it shakes the room. Carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows heaven backs their words. For in every season, in every battle, in every test, your wisdom will not just sustain you, it will elevate you. Remember this. Wisdom is the crown that cannot be stolen, and because you carry it, your life will forever testify that you are chosen, set apart, and unstoppable. Chapter 4. The cost of carrying wisdom. Child of God, to carry divine wisdom is to carry fire. It burns inside of you, and like fire, it cannot be hidden. It illuminates what is real, it consumes what is false, and it exposes what lies in the shadows. But this fire also makes people uncomfortable. For while light attracts those who long for truth, it also repels those who are comfortable in darkness. That is the cost. You cannot carry heaven's flame and still be embraced by those who love the dark. Wisdom makes you walk differently. It is the oil that rests on your head, the crown that is invisible to the world but undeniable in the spirit realm. People sense it even if they cannot explain it. They may not know what to call it, but they know something about you is not ordinary. Some are drawn to it, others are intimidated by it, and that intimidation often becomes rejection. This is why you may feel like a stranger among your own family, misunderstood among your friends, and set apart in places where you once fit in. The cost of carrying wisdom is loneliness that feels like exile. There will be nights when you ask God, why me? Why can't I just live like everyone else? But child of God, you are not called to live like everyone else. You are called to see differently, to hear differently, to walk differently. The very loneliness you feel is the evidence that you are walking on a narrow road. A road few find, but one that leads to destiny. The cost of carrying wisdom is the weight of discernment. Your spirit picks up on things others overlook. You see danger where others see opportunity. You sense deception where others see friendship. You notice the motives behind words, the spirit behind actions, the traps behind opportunities. At times, you may wish you didn't see so much. You may wish you could just be blind to the truth like others seem to be. But God has entrusted you with sight, and sight cannot be undone. That sight will protect you even if it isolates you. The cost of carrying wisdom is constant misunderstanding. People will call you too cautious, too suspicious, too intense. They will laugh at your warnings until the very thing you spoke of comes to pass. And when it does, they will remember that you were not wrong. You were ahead of them. Child of God, being ahead always looks strange to those who are behind. What they call strange is really foresight. What they call too much is really divine preparation. Look at Joseph. His wisdom to dream and interpret visions made even his own blood despise him. His brothers feared what he knew, because what he knew threatened their comfort. They stripped him of his coat, but they could not strip him of his calling. They threw him in a pit, but they could not bury his purpose. Look at Daniel. His wisdom exposed the emptiness of idols and the fragility of kings, so entire empires sought to silence him. Yet the very wisdom that made him hated was the same wisdom that seated him among kings. Do you see, child of God? The attacks you face are not random. The betrayals you've endured are not accidents. The whispers, the rejection, the jealousy. It is all tied to the treasure you carry. The enemy fears you because wisdom is a weapon. Truth is sharper than any sword. Revelation shatters strongholds, and every time you walk in wisdom, you become more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. This is why you are fought so fiercely. Empty vessels don't get attacked, but vessels carrying oil always do. Yes, the cost is high. It means tears no one else sees. It means walking through seasons of silence where you cannot explain what you know. It means being called arrogant for speaking truth, and being called distant for protecting your peace. But the cost is not punishment, it is evidence of trust. God saw your shoulders strong enough to carry it. He saw your heart pure enough to steward it. He saw your spirit resilient enough to endure it. That's why he chose you. And let me tell you this, the very wisdom that makes you feared will one day make you sought after. The same people who turned away will return for your counsel. The same ones who mocked you will remember your words. The same ones who feared your insight will need your guidance when their own wisdom fails them. For what God places in you cannot be ignored forever. Truth always demands recognition. Chapter 5. Your discernment is your weapon. Child of God, do not underestimate what God has placed inside of you. Your discernment is not an accident, it is a divine weapon crafted in the secret place. You see what others ignore, you hear what others miss. You notice the cracks in conversations, the inconsistencies in actions, the heaviness in atmospheres. You are not paranoid, you are prophetic. Your spirit is tuned to heaven's frequency, and that is why deception cannot linger around you for long. Discernment is the gift that makes you a spiritual watchdog. When others are easily swayed by sweet words, flattering lips, or false promises, you see through it. You sense the spirit behind the smile. You recognize the agenda behind the invitation. You feel the weight of what is hidden before it even reveals itself. This is why manipulators, liars, and pretenders fear you. They cannot camouflage themselves in your presence. The light in you makes their masks fall off. This is also why you often feel drained after being around certain people. It's not because you are weak, it's because your spirit is constantly processing, discerning, filtering through what is real and what is false. You carry the ability to detect spirits, to perceive energy, to recognize danger before it strikes. Others may dismiss it as just a feeling, but you know it is the Spirit of God giving you a warning, a nudge, a confirmation. Think about Jesus. Crowds surrounded him, but he discerned the hearts of men. He knew who was genuine, who was seeking him for bread, and who was plotting betrayal. He knew Judas would sell him before Judas even spoke the words. That same spirit of discernment rests upon you, child of God. It shields you from traps, it warns you of wrong paths, and it positions you in the center of God's will. Your discernment is not only for protection, it is also for direction. It leads you to opportunities aligned with heaven. It tells you when to speak and when to stay silent. It shows you when to step forward and when to wait. Discernment is heaven's navigation system in your spirit, guiding you through the fog of life's uncertainties. Where others stumble in confusion, you walk with clarity because you see with spiritual eyes. Understand this. Discernment is sharper than any sword. It cuts through falsehood, it dismantles manipulation, it exposes lies at their root. This is why the enemy fears you so much. He knows he cannot easily infiltrate your life. He knows you are not the type to be distracted by glittering traps or deceived by sweet voices. He knows you are too alert, too awake, too aligned to fall into the pits he sets. So instead, he tries to make you doubt your own discernment. He whispers, "You're imagining things. You're too sensitive. You're too suspicious, but don't believe the lies." That sensitivity is spiritual accuracy. That suspicion is your shield. Your discernment is your radar. It tells you when something is off, even if everything looks fine on the surface. And the truth is that radar has already saved your life more times than you realize. It has pulled you out of relationships that would have destroyed you. It has blocked you from deals that would have drained you. It has kept you from traps that were disguised as blessings. Your discernment is not just a gift. It is your survival tool, your battle armor, your hidden weapon of war. And child of God, here is the truth. Your discernment is only sharpening with every struggle you endure. Every betrayal has sharpened your sight. Every disappointment has trained your spirit. Every false friend, every manipulation, every heartbreak. They have all been lessons, chiseling your discernment until it became a sword that cannot be dulled. What once felt like pain has become power. What once felt like loss has become wisdom. So walk boldly in this gift. Stop apologizing for seeing what others can't. Stop doubting the warnings God places in your spirit. Stop shrinking back just to make others comfortable. Chapter 6. God is expanding your understanding. Child of God, the wisdom you carry right now is only a glimpse of what heaven has prepared for you. The knowledge you have gained through battles, trials, and tears is the foundation. But God is not finished with you yet. He is preparing to pour out an expansion of understanding so profound that even you will marvel at how clearly you begin to see. Your eyes are about to open to depths of revelation that will connect pieces of your life in ways you never imagined. What once confused you will suddenly make sense. The delays that frustrated you, the betrayals that wounded you, the seasons of silence that felt unbearable. Soon, they will align like puzzle pieces, painting a picture of divine strategy. God is unlocking mysteries of your calling, your purpose, and your destiny. He is giving you insight not just into what is happening around you, but into why it is happening. This is the kind of wisdom that moves you from merely surviving to leading, from enduring to influencing. You will begin to see connections others cannot see. While some remain blinded by surface appearances, your understanding will penetrate deeper. You will see the hidden patterns behind people's actions, the spiritual currents beneath worldly events, and the divine fingerprints guiding your every step. What others call coincidence, you will recognize as confirmation. Where others only see problems, you will discern opportunities. And this expansion is not just for you, it is for the world around you. People who once mocked your insight will return, seeking your counsel. Those who dismissed your voice will one day sit at your feet, needing the wisdom you carry. They may not acknowledge it publicly, but behind closed doors they will admit, this one has something divine. This one sees what we cannot. Your wisdom will not just inspire respect, it will demand it. Understand this, when God expands your understanding, He also enlarges your territory. That means opportunities will open before you that others have overlooked. Doors that remained closed for years will swing wide because your level of wisdom now matches the assignment waiting behind them. Divine connections will come into your life, not because you chased them, but because heaven orchestrated them. You will not have to beg for a seat at the table. Your discernment and understanding will make you the table. This is why the enemy has fought you so hard in the area of your mind. He has tried to cloud your thoughts with confusion, anxiety, and doubt. He has tried to overwhelm you with noise so you couldn't hear God's whisper. But what the enemy meant for harm, God has used for training. Your struggles to find clarity have sharpened your ability to discern truth. Your battle against confusion has made you sensitive to the smallest shifts in the spirit. Now your understanding is becoming too sharp to be manipulated, too deep to be deceived, too anchored to be shaken. Child of God, the wisdom that is coming to you will shock even you. You will open your mouth and speak, and people will wonder, how did they know that? Where did that understanding come from? It will not be from books alone. It will not be from human teachers. It will be the Spirit of God downloading directly into your heart. You are about to walk in divine intelligence, prophetic insight, and heavenly strategies that no classroom could ever provide. And remember this, wisdom always attracts responsibility. With this expansion, God is not just blessing you, He is preparing to use you. Chapter 7. Walk in your wisdom with confidence. Finally, child of God, it is time to rise and walk boldly in the wisdom heaven has entrusted to you. That wisdom is not common, it is a crown upon your life, a mark of divine distinction, and the evidence that you have been handpicked by God. Do not hide it out of fear. Do not shrink back to make others feel secure in their confusion. Do not dim your light so the shadows around you can feel safe. What God placed inside you is not meant to be buried. It is meant to shine. Your wisdom is more than knowledge, it is revelation. It is not simply something you learned in books, but something heaven poured into your spirit through trials, through tears, through seasons of silence. Every hardship was a classroom. Every betrayal was a lesson. Every delay was preparation. And now you stand carrying a perspective others cannot understand. That is why they fear you. That is why they talk about you. That is why they try to keep their distance, because your very presence reveals what they tried to hide. But hear me, their fear is not rejection. it is recognition. Deep down, they know you carry something eternal. The wisdom in you was not forged in comfort, it was birthed in fire. It came from nights you wanted to give up, but you didn't. It came from questions no one else could answer, but God whispered the truth to your soul. It came from being misunderstood, overlooked, and rejected. But through it all, heaven was shaping your mind, enlarging your understanding, and preparing you to carry what few could ever handle. Child of God, walk in this wisdom with confidence. Walk knowing that God Himself is your source. You don't need the validation of men when the Creator of the universe has stamped His approval on you. The doors that appear locked will open at the sound of your voice because your wisdom carries authority. The chains binding others will break when you speak because your insight carries freedom. The paths that seem hidden will illuminate as you move forward because your light is not just for you, it is for nations. There are people right now praying for clarity, praying for answers, praying for guidance. And God has chosen you to be the vessel that carries that wisdom to them. Your words will break strongholds. Your counsel will redirect lives. Your vision will build futures. Do not underestimate what you carry. Do not downplay what God has placed inside you. Heaven invested too much in your becoming for you to walk as if you are ordinary. Child of God, you are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are a voice in the wilderness. You are a bridge between heaven and earth. You are a sign and a wonder. The wisdom inside you is proof that God has set you apart, anointed you, and called you for such a time as this. So step forward. Step into rooms with authority. Step into conversations with boldness. Step into opportunities with confidence. Wherever you go, carry the awareness that you are divinely equipped. You are not walking alone. God walks with you. His Spirit speaks through you, and His hand rests upon you. Walk in your wisdom with confidence, because this is your season. Walk because heaven has already gone ahead of you. Walk because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original that God created you to be. Walk because your voice is the one they've been waiting for. Walk because your light is the one the darkness cannot resist. Walk because your wisdom is the very thing that will turn the tide for generations to come. Child of God, arise and walk. And as you do, watch how heaven honors the confidence of the chosen.